This celebratory rally in Havana is a far cry from angry protests that have gripped this Caribbean nation. Performing Cuban salsa and waving flags, thousands of people showed support for President Miguel Díaz-CANEL. He says protests against Cuba's economic decline were based on false narratives.
Se estimula y glorifican el desacato y la destrucción de inmuebles.
They are encouraging and glorifying disrespect and destruction of property, threats and harassments of citizens and families. Right now, what the world is seeing from Cuba is a lie.
Raúl Castro joined the president, who he had handed power to in 2019. He and his brother, the late Fidel Castro, had led the Cuban Revolution more than 6 decades ago.
Pandemic or no pandemic, we have to defend this revolution. We have to defend what is ours.
In the words of Miguel Díaz-CANEL, he made it clear to the whole world that this revolution will not be overthrown.
A week ago, a wave of protests hit 40 Cuban cities, the biggest in decades. People are calling for liberty, freedom, and down with the dictatorship. They galvanized in their thousands over shortages of goods and the government's handling of a surge in COVID-19 infections. Scores of people were arrested. Almost 2,000 kilometers north in Washington, D.C., protesters showed solidarity outside the Cuban embassy.
My grandmother left in 1970 with every expectation of going back, and because of the dictatorship in Cuba, we have not been afforded that opportunity.
Those calls were echoed among the large Cuban-American population in Florida. US President Joe Biden called Cuba a failed state and showed no sign of lifting economic sanctions. The country now seems divided between two camps. Those who blame the government on widespread shortages of food and medicine, and those who don't want to lose their socialist revolution. They blame 60 years of crippling sanctions for their economic woes. Burdon-Manley, Al Jazeera.